All right, guys. So we are back uh, with Zeal. How are you?
I'm pretty good, man. Just getting ready to start back on the games. Right now we have 1 second. We got non-BA Farcon, which if you guys don't know is Farcon, but not on Burning Abyss. And then we have Bezo, which is Cherry. And I think so Cherry is playing Eldlich, pure Eldlich it looks like, versus Dinos, and it's looking pretty grim for the Dino player here. We got a Gozen match, we got a skill drain, we got two golden lands on the field. Just everything does not
Yeah.
look very favorable.
Well, I think Misk is protecting only from activated effects. So the problem is that even if you have Misk in your hand, skill drain is too much. Same for Gozen. Gozen is not getting disrupted by Misk since it affects the player. So that's why Dino has a problem with floodgates in general.
Definitely. I do know that Farcon probably may have some outs in the main deck, but we'll have to see. If he has any outs in the main deck, then this is definitely still winnable. But if it's not, then I would just scoop and go to game two. Get some backer removal in the deck because without outing the skill drain and Gozen match, what can you do here? Pankratops?
Yeah, it would be Pancratops. So if I was Cherry on top, I will not summon any monster against
Right.
Dino if I don't go in game because you can kinda easily attack and then get rid of your monster, I would say. I think it's doable with the deck. But it's not that like I think it's okay. Like having skill drain plus goes and even if you're being if your opponent summon Pancratops, it's not a big problem. But you can just uh attack only when you have game. That's a possibility. So now we're just Cherry is just waiting on his back rows.
Yeah, exactly. And I think another issue here too is the Lost World is actually turned off as soon as Cherry summons any light monster because of
Mm,
Ghost Match. Like you just can't control anything besides lights.
mm,
It's
yeah.
really
But that is interesting though what you just said because now Lost Word is gonna be used and Cherry has to change something because if she forgot that she has Gozen match on board, then she's gonna be in trouble and she will have to get rid of his own Gozen match.
Oh, she let it go through. That's interesting. He actually can camp on that for a
Uh,
while,
um,
to be
I
honest.
think because the problem for Cherry is gonna be that next turn. I mean, she can still. Okay, she's not able to do so.
She doesn't realize. Yeah, she didn't see the play. That's Farcon definitely outplayed here, and I'm really glad he
You're proud?
did.
Oh my god. No, it's not a problem. She has Lord in the graveyard. She can just use Lord effect and get rid of Gozen match. But now Pancratops is gonna be an out
Exactly.
because
Once he
she
gets rid of
only
the Ghost
has
match,
one
it's just
floodgates.
exactly.
That's she had game here if she just managed to handle the
That's
situation. And now it looks
mhm.
like she doesn't know that she can do Lord without summoning Lord. Hmm. Anyway, Farkian summoning Tyranno, not attacking the token, but he should summon Tyranno in. No, it doesn't matter. He can summon it in attack. I would still summon Tyranno in defense though, just in case my opponent has something to handle the Lost World.
Exactly. I think another thing that Farcon could have done maybe is maybe just attack the token and then protect it with Lost World. That way he can like fill up his graveyard with like Misk or something. I mean, he still
That
has the
is
answer to the
true.
Hakiro.
That what you just said is really it's a good idea. He definitely should have attacked with Tyranno, as you said. Oh, he could as well put the token in attack mode, I think. Let me check that.
I think it has to be in
Oh
defense,
no,
yeah.
it has to be in defense. Okay, so now what if you're Farkian? Okay, so now if you're Farkian, you know that your opponent doesn't know about the fact that you can use Lord to just get rid of your floodgates and not summon Lord, so you can do it. But so now Farkian can just try to end turn until he find a way to get rid of this cousin match. And I
If
don't
he's
know
going,
how many turns it's gonna take for Cherry to realize that she can use Lord effect. It's it's something you can forget about. Like you can just don't notice because there's no reason to. I mean, it never happened. The only way it can happen is in this scenario or when you want to add Lord to use its effect to get rid of one card on the field.
and yeah, that's the thing. A lot of players don't abuse that effect too much just because of the way
Mm,
that people summon it. A lot of people don't realize that it goes to your hand first, and it doesn't actually
mm,
just special summon from the graveyard.
mm.
So I think that what Farkon should do here, if he's playing backer removal, then he should definitely be foolishing whatever he can off the token. But if he's not, then maybe he's going for some sort of a deck out thing and maybe just assuming that she doesn't know and we'll never figure it out, which
Uh,
is risky.
yeah, but wait, can you use impermanence when skill drain is on the field? I
You
mean, you
cannot.
just can't use impermanence because of Lost Word, but even if there was no Lost Word, you just can't use impermanence. So
Exactly.
what we saw here means that all the back row she has cannot be used. So she is locked from setting back rows, and that's what she wanted to do. So now the only way she can recover from that is either by setting a monster and then tribute set a Golden Lord, or just realize that she can use Golden Lord effect without summoning it.
I wonder how long it's going to take her to realize she can use Lord from the
If
graveyard.
it's something, if it's some, I mean, at some point she's gonna realize because she's gonna read her cards, just by being frustrated. So she's gonna realize there's no way. I mean, except if she admit defeat, but if she doesn't admit defeat, she's gonna realize at some point for sure. Oh, going for the warning. I mean, it's fair. It's fair. So now Farkin. If I was Farkian, I would just if you don't have a way to out this board, you just enter in really quickly to for your opponent to think that there is no out and maybe she will scoop before realizing. If you have an out, then it's doing 2 turns, you should attack the token. And now 3.
Yeah, I think I would definitely just keep tossing.
Because because yeah, I mean there's he can be like I don't know. I don't think he's playing any back row removal. I don't think there's anything he can do. The only thing he can do, and I will still attack with Tyranno though, it's summon another Tyranno. That's the only thing you can do.
I think he wants his deck count to be higher so he can trick her into thinking that he can just deck out here, which is a very good play. A lot of these games come down to like psychological stuff too. Like, obviously, this is just lack of game knowledge on Cherry's part, but I think if he plays it like he's going for deck out, then she might just scoop just to like avoid time rolls. We'll see.
That's really unfortunate because she has the out just there. It's so
It's
frustrating.
sitting there. It's so tilting. Just
I'm
use
just
it.
yeah. Oh my god, seeing Pastor is triggering me. It's okay. So if she is doing that, it means she has another way to get rid of that spot, which I don't know which one it is because if she set a monster, at some point Tyranno's gonna attack over it. So I just don't know if she doesn't realize about the Golden Lord, how does she want to get rid of that token? I think there's literally no way. What is it? It's a Earth, right?
Right.
Earth,
It's an There may
Earth.
be a
What is
possible
Earth?
way. What she can do, right, is she can set a hand trap, and then she can normal summon a second lord by setting it.
Oh, yeah. Someone told in the chat, I don't know if you saw, that you just want to use Lord on her own Gozen match.
Hmm. I want to say that, but you think that you would just use the Lord on like Sanguine though, right?
I think. Uh, Sorry?
Wouldn't she just use the Lord on the Sanguine at that point then? Like, then she can just discard it from hand at the end phase anyway and just do the same thing. And that way she can start getting traps in loop that she wants so that she can sort of push for game here.
Yeah. But I don't see how is it related, because we're talking about outing Gozen match right now. So
Right. But I don't think that I think that if she knew that she was just waiting, she would have not just be sitting here pretending like she doesn't know. I don't
yeah,
think that's
yeah, she's planning to use Lord either on Gozen match or on the token, one or the other.
Mm.
So if she's thinking, it might mean that she has the Lord she was waiting for. Yeah. So if you have Lord here, she is in a big like she has a big advantage here, like for real. Even if at some point she's gonna get rid of that token and she's gonna have all that back rows that Farkion just can't do anything about, even with a million card in the hand. Yeah, and now using Lord effects, paying her cost, she can took she can target the token. Farkion is being a fool here. So now, please, she just has to get rid of the token. Mm,
on Ghost. She actually doesn't know.
I mean, yeah.
Huh.
Maybe I think it has some sense sometime. Like maybe you just want to be able to set another back row, because as we could see, she need to set something because she wanted to use Imperm, right?
Right.
So maybe she has something better than a Gozen Mash, and I don't see what it can be. Maybe she's thinking that if Farken has no out to skill drain, then skill drain is enough, and that's kinda true, to be honest. Skill drain is enough to handle every problem.
It could
Okay, so
also
now
just
Lord
be
effect.
be another
Sorry?
Gozen match too. Like she could also just have another Gozen match and it's just outing the Gozen match
Exact.
that we can set
Yeah.
him up on.
Yeah. If she has another Gozen match, it has some sense to get rid of the first one because you just want to be able to set something else. If she has another Gozen match set, obviously, already set. And also she's taking information on Farken's list because she's seeing Gammas and Nibiru's and Token Collector. If I was Farken, I would. I mean, if he has no macro removal in his main deck, I would just scoop here because it has no sense anymore. Okay, now using the token to make a link play.
Probably make Fiber here, I would think. Even though Skill Drain is face up, you can still activate Fiber. Oh. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't think it was Fever because Fever is going nowhere. There is not enough spell in the graveyards. There
Well,
is only one in the opponent's graveyard and one lost ward on the field, so it's doing only
well,
two counter.
he has a Skill Drain up anyway. I was just talking about
True.
the only thing that the Link Play could do is if you had a Needle Fiber up on your opponent's turn, you can still banish for cost and still activate the Link
Yeah.
Group effect if you wanted to get like a, I don't know, like
True.
a
True.
Coral Dragon or something.
Okay. So
I want to give her the benefit of the doubt. I know you're trying, but I don't think she understands this matchup.
okay, I just don't know why. Because Because it happened the first time with Giant Rex, right?
Yeah, this have
And
already happened.
maybe she just doesn't know anything about Dino, and then it's kind of hard to remember every part of the effect of Lost World, which is just a big text.
Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be a problem for her. Still, she's still gonna win that game because the CA is already established. So
if he top decks Pankratops here, though, that could definitely be a power play.
yeah, even Pancratops here because I really think she has another Gozen match. I mean, it's the only reason you will be sending Gozen match. Yeah, so I think what happened is that she went on Phoenix forgetting her skill drain, and then so because she made that misplay, then she was lost, she was confused, and then she attacked over it. You know, it's something that really happened a lot.
Yeah. I do think that she still has the advantage, though, which is sad to see, but Skeldring is such a strong card, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, okay, so now Pancratops. So if you had Gozen, the point was to flip it in standby. So we will try to think that there's no Gozen here because now it's too late. Skill drain is gonna be destroyed, uh, except if there is the counter trap.
She did add the counter trap, so there's definitely the counter trap for sure, which makes this line of play really difficult because if he gets rid of any of the lords here, then I guess she already has a lord in the graveyard, so his Pankratops is gonna go and not do anything here, I think.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know because it's maybe he has Misk though. If he has Misk, okay, then he doesn't have it because he can chain it to the counter trap. Okay, not tributing Phoenix.
Oh, he
Trying
does
to
have
chain. No.
It's
Okay, I
good.
was. Yeah, so now it's playable. Okay,
Discard the Mythkin.
training that, destroying the Tyranno, but it's not gonna be enough to stop Farkion, which because I think he drew a lot of cards and he must have a copy of the Raptor in his hand. Yeah,
Hmm.
with Lost World is gonna be enough, I think.
This is game. Yeah.
So is
Well
he
played by
playing two
for
Tyranno?
sure.
I think he is.
I'm pretty sure this is similar to June's list. If this is similar to June's list, then definitely he's playing two Tyranno. I know that him and Ryan Yu and all of them talked about that. So
Mm-hmm.
I do think there is two.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're playing Dino pure, which it looks like it is, you're definitely playing two Tyranno. Like, there's no way you play only one.
I don't even think the synchro builds play only one, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, but like, it's possible to play only one in a synchro build, but
Of
you will
course.
never play one in a pure build because it's your win condition. So yeah, now there's a lot of monsters on Cherry on top board.
Yeah, that's 4K damage just from Tyranno if it ever comes
Yeah,
up.
even more.
And we know what the set is too. The set's Sanguine, so I think this is just game.
Yeah, it must be game. But yeah, she's still gathering information. Is gathering the right word though? Let me check. Yeah,
It
gathering.
is, yeah.
Right. So now it's all about if I was Farkin at this point. I mean, Doka is needed because Nibiru can be played here.
I don't think he could have Nibiru'd him. That was 3 summons before this. This is now 5 summons, but I feel
Alright,
like
so it was not needed, so he could just summon Tyranno and don't give any information because it seems like Cherry on Top doesn't know a lot about Dino, so maybe keeping the factor of Dolka could have been a good thing for next games.
I definitely agree with that. I think that he just got a little excited that he played through that.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
happens.
and I understand. It's understandable. Alright, so now um we're gonna see more possibility from Cherry on Top because now she did read all the cards of Farkin deck more likely. She knows about Pankatops, she knows about Tyranno, Oviraptor, Misk,
Lost World,
Lost
which
World.
is the big one. This
Yeah,
Lost World definitely made her.
I don't think we're gonna see more misplay. It's like it's the kind of weird thing when you just play against something you don't know and you have to keep in mind all the information you just learned. Sometimes it ends up being really bad for you.
Exactly, and I think hmm, I think what's gonna have to happen here is I don't think that Cherry realized that she could use Lord in Graveyard yet. I don't know if
No,
that'll come up again.
yeah, it can. I don't think she's gonna do I mean the mistake. It's not really a mistake, but next time if she can, she will chain anything to summon a light monster before Lost World is resolving if she has Gozen on board.
Right.
So no, I don't think this situation will happen, but one time is enough for Farken.
I
Because
agree.
when you lose the dice roll in that matchup, you don't expect to win, to be honest. Like, you really don't.
I agree. I think that all the misplays with Gozen, Lost World, Miscellaneous Saurus, and not playing on the pink, none of that's gonna happen. Because if it does this time, it just won't happen. It doesn't make any sense. So I do see that Farkon passed turn here because there are 5 cards on his hand, which means that
It means
Cherry
that
thinks.
Cherry went second.
Hmm.
I did not even notice that. I mean, it's why not? Why not? Letting Dino going first is never a bad thing if you're not playing a deck that dies to uh, either Dolka or Tyranno.
Exactly.
If you're playing a back row deck, you can still set in to go first, but go second because your back row are gonna be still effective. And if Far can end his turn, I don't think it's because he's breaking, but I think it's because he has cards like Lightning Storm and Evenly.
Exactly.
Because Dino, even if it's breaky, it will always like have a starter. Like it's not breaky because there is no starting play. It's breaky because it's not gonna do a big loop every time. It
Exactly.
will die on one hand trap a lot of the time, but it has like three OV, three fossil dig, etc. So yeah, it was obvious that he had something like lightning storm, and that's why when you tell someone to go first in that kind of spot and you're playing a back row deck, you still side in judgment, etc. Because your opponent
Of
is still
course.
gonna be able to resolve that kind of lightning storm, except if you're playing a back row deck that can OTK, which is not the case uh in a Eldlich.
And so we did see the lightning storm drop here, and then we
Mm.
saw the Lost World hit the field. He activated Miss. Miss is going to go ahead and summon out the Animador. I don't know how to say that, but Archosaur. The Anima is basically going to probably hit I would think a baby here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely. I'm confused because I don't see how it's possible from Cherry to have three cards in her hand.
Well,
It
that's just
must be hand
because
traps, but
she activated Eldland, right? Eldland added a card from her deck to her hand, so that would be how she had the 6 because she did go. She chose to go second, right?
yeah.
And so what we got here is it looks like Farkon chained Archosaur second, which is really good. I like that play because it's already under misc. He can't really do anything to it, so better to protect your
Mm.
lost gold from something like Ghost Ogre.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's well played. But still, because I don't. When you let Dino go first, you don't set in hand traps, do you?
No, but it's still good to play around stuff like that just in case, because there's no reason not to when you're
Yeah,
under
yeah.
something
I'm
like
not saying about Farkion plays. I'm saying about what can be these three cards, because I don't think it's gonna be two lords and Ash Blossom. Must be like
this
some
is
Nibiru stuff or.
it could be decided in Nibiru. We did see that she wasn't familiar with the matchup, which means that she may not know how Nibiru isn't the greatest card versus Dino. Once you get
Yeah.
Miscellaneousaurus in effect, it's so hard to
And then he
stop this
he
deck.
can just keep up with doing Doka and it's dead. But
Exactly.
yeah, also I think it because we forget that Farkion passed like ended his turn without doing anything. So Cherry might have like Evenlies, or maybe even Lightning Storms.
This is true. It's just very curious that she would side in something like Lightning Storm versus. I mean, it
Yeah,
makes
but
sense,
I mean, Evenly more likely. Evenly
right?
is definitely a card she can have. She can has in her hand right now. I I I could bet on Evenly to be honest, because
See
um
that as well.
it's the only card that you would set in to go second in Eldlich Pure that is that you won't set. You will keep it in hand.
We see Farkon banishes his Ash and a Dino from his hand, which is very interesting. That means that he wants to keep the baby in the graveyard, and he doesn't have the Link Karibo and the Cypress Secure Gardener in the extra deck from his extravagance, which is very unfortunate. But
Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. All right, so now the monster is face down, and if Farkin doesn't kill her, it's not the end of the game. And Lord is 2k. Okay, now I think it's a lot of damages. It's 2-8. Yeah, it's dead. It's game. I think you just can't do anything here. You just can't. You can't even Nibiru.
I think because she activated the land, it's going to be game. Yeah, it's
All
really
right.
unfortunate. Let me count here. That's what is that? 4,000, 5,300,
Yeah, it's
18.
game for sure.
Exactly game. It's exactly game. Well, well played
Or
by
is it?
Farkon. Yeah.
No, it's exactly game.
Exactly game.
3-5.